So this is it. Um, this is it. Sound of voice, um, sitting, sounds outside, sounds inside, thoughts, sensations, um, feelings, um, so horribly ordinary, really, for that which is looking and waiting for something to happen. Um, that's in essence, that's what we're talking about, is that this immediacy, suddenly this, what's appearing, can feel like it's known, feels comfortable, can feel safe. And that sense of feeling safe or nobility or knowing what this is or what's appearing to happen can sort of feel like it's that the world is very tight and the world is very small, or what is very tight and small. And that sense of tightness, somebody somewhere called it a sort of a straitjacket of knowing. That straitjacket of knowing can become just so tight and unbearable that a seeking, let's just say, for something other than that tight felt sense of knowing can be what happens. Something, that tight felt sense of knowing can maybe, sort of break for a moment, let's just say. And it's sort of causeless, really, but and people would talk about a glimpse or sort of a loosening up, or there seems to be a million different stories about this, but let's just say in a general sense that this tight felt sense of knowing the world, knowing what is, feels very uncomfortable, and sort of a seeking kicks off. And that seeking can be in a gazillion different forms, but it's a seeking for something other than that tight felt sense of knowing what this is. And let's just say, for the wildly unfortunate few, somehow stumbling upon a communication like this appears to happen. And really, at the very core of what is being said here is that this is the mystery. This ordinariness, this sitting and talking is the mystery. But but no one has that mystery. No one gets that it's a mystery. And that really there's just what is, or what's appearing to happen, or whatever is felt. And that is, and it's a sort of an unconditional, and love is laden down with so much meaning and whatever, but let's just say it's an unconditional love. And if the response to this is it's a load of bullshit, then that would be what's appearing to happen. If the response to this sort of communication is that I love it and it's amazing, well, big deal, that's what's appearing to happen. And if there's a struggle with this, or a seeking to, and a feeling like that I haven't quite got this yet, or something's missing, then really, in essence, that is the mystery also. But that doesn't negate or say that that's actually going anywhere either. It's just also saying that that would be what is, and that this mystery is as everything, appears as seeking, appears as struggling, appears as laughter, appears as everything, and really that there's no one doing anything. So no one thinking, no one hearing, no one seeking, no one wishing, no one wanting, no one taking this on as a concept, no one not taking this on as a concept, that there's no one doing anything, that there's just this chaos or life in free fall, or simply and plainly just whatever is. And so all those words are sort of a setting the scene, but it's a story also, because really what's most wanted to be talked about is just this immediacy, this, and that is to say, this is it. So if there are questions, then there are questions that are there. So the questions, this is an open space, so they're there to be said. So let's see what happens. Yeah. And if you haven't by chance been to this sort of thing, or you haven't seen the video, just click on mute and ask what's there to be asked, or put a comment in the chat and I'll get to that. Yep.
Hi, Frank.
Hiya.
So this is it.
Yeah, well, that's what's been said anyway.
And in a minute's time, it's also this is it.
Well, what's been said is in a minute's time, this is also it. And so then we're going to delve into a story about time. And really, this appears as talking now. It's so inescapably as a voice just talking, as opposed to any point being made. It's sort of as everything. And that as everything includes as seeking to know what's appearing, or trying to kind of get to the bottom of it by talking about time and conceptualizing. So I don't know that this is it.
Yeah. And also you don't know what this is.
I don't know anything at all.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how saying I don't know is appearing to be said. This is total and utter innocence beyond even the idea of innocence then. So I'm not trying to make a point or explain anything or get anything across to you. It's just this then is appearing to happen. And normally with all other sorts of things, there's, a purpose or a point to it, or something is being communicated, or something is being explained, or some information is being shared. And that's not the case here.
Yep.
But that's not a purpose either.
Sure, yeah. Yep. So I suppose one could say that in effect, everything that's happening is in fact spontaneous. It's not brought on by anything. It just happens. This happens.
Well, the most spectacular thing is that actually, in essence, saying this happens is what's happening.
Yeah.
So it can't then be known as, oh, it's over there spontaneously or coming from some unknown nothing, spontaneously, whatever. It's this, so it's as talking now, and it's not like that we're then making points with each other. It's just, it's spontaneously happening is as good as anything, but it's just can't be known as that. It's just so alive and immediately as this, or that's what appears to to be being said. So it's not then the words. It's not like it can be explained.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So in effect, where this appearance is moving in a world where things are just happening to this appearance, and this cannot influence that in any way.
Well, all there is what's appearing to happen. So it's sort of saying anything more is a story then about influence and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anything and everything can appear to happen. It's just that no one's doing anything. But no one's asking that question there. And that can't be a known, that's not a known idea. It's just that question appearing to be asked, or that point appearing to be made. So the idea then of influence, and it's really, anything can happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go on,
Yeah.
sorry, yeah.
No, what I was going to say was this just can't be understood really in any way, any shape or form. This can't be understood.
It's
And no
absolutely,
amount of words and no amount of talking or anything like that is going to convince this, whatever is here, this appearance, this I, of anything. Because what has been spoken about, it seems to me to be, it's entirely outside the I. There is no, there is, it's, it's free flow, if you like. Free flow, and nobody controlling anything. I can't control anything. Things are as they are. Things are happening, and that's it. And that's fine, I think.
well, there isn't an I. So no one just said what was said there.
Yeah.
So that idea then, what was said about controlling and all that, that was just what appears to be said. And this idea of it can't be understood. It's, in other words, it's this. So then if what's appearing to happen is a sort of a seeking, or about this I'm not sure if I'm quite getting this or not getting this or whatever, then that would be what is appearing to happen. So no one asked that question. No one is seeking. And it's just nothing to do with any thoughts or understanding or whatever. But it is as appearing, this appearing, understanding is as interesting or as important as the wind blowing. It's just appearing as understanding, wind blowing, coughing, sneezing, sorrow, laughter, hate, frustration, hunger, whatever is appearing. And it's then like, if this then could be understood, we'd be back in the game of this could be bound in words and explained and shared. So where does that book, you could fill 1,000 gazillion encyclopedias and not one word would touch this inescapable, this just talking now. So what's then, what can be said? What can be said about this now?
Nothing. From what I can
Well,
see.
nothing appears to have been said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no one did that. And then laughing appears to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And saying, yeah. and then
Sure.
this,
And then sure.
and then sure. So you can't get any fucking closer or further away to that. So you can fucking scream and roar or laugh your fucking head off. Who knows? That will be what's appearing to happen.
Yeah.
And then saying, yeah,
Yeah.
or fuck you, Frank. Fuck you, Frank is way better. Yeehaw.
Okay, thanks.
It's
Yeah,
absolutely wild, free, and free then to be totally apparently constrained, and nothing may be said. It'll be right. That's it. Nothing at all, or
yeah,
whatever. It's this then, whatever is appearing to happen,
yeah,
and you won't hold it, and you won't not hold it.
yeah. Okay, thanks, Frank.
All right. Thank you.
Frank,
Oh
hello.
yeah.
I was wondering that many great speakers like Buddha or Tony Parson, they have an awakening story.
Mm.
That do you have one?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I had this. I had a scone and a cup of coffee. Um, and there was 10 raisins in that scone. I've been an awful prick, haven't I? There was 10 raisins in that scone, and then I somehow fell away and burst into wholeness, and all there was total liberation, and that was brilliant. But then I had to go and pick up the dog shit, and that wasn't wholeness, so I wasn't too happy with that. And then I went back to try and get that scone again, and I'm sorry, I'm being a prick there.
Yeah.
It's basically what's the mystery is sort of sitting and talking and drinking coffee, and it's as much some sort of glimpse as it is a cough.
Yeah. May I?
It's just that these sorts of experiences appear like sort of they can't then sort of be imagined. So it's like if I described the way seeking appears to happen is if I described a rock that I saw on the ground, and I said this rock was pretty fucking shit rock. I didn't really even spend any time looking at it. That wouldn't be sought after. But if it was the rock exploded and then I exploded and all there was everything, that's sort of attractive. That's sort of exciting. And that's sought after. So then if I was to talk about wisdom, enlightenment, liberation, those words would come out of my mouth, then this then would be sort of it would be attractive to hear about. And that would of course it's attractive. If I was to talk about a lovely steak in a restaurant, that's also. And the problem with all the words and everything like that is that in the end, seeking just appears to happen. And in particular, you could say it's exposed in these sorts of communications when nothing, which isn't a thing called nothing, but when nothing is offered, absolutely nothing, it's still imagined that nothing might be something fantastical to have. Because in a way, the seeking is exposed for that, in a sense, you could say, in a sense, because it constantly returns, even though it's presented with nothing. And that's not a purpose or anything like that. It's just nothing is constantly offered. And then there's the push and pull with that. So although it just doesn't seem to stories just don't seem to come out of this mouth like that, even though that was a sort of story, but there's a sort of a style to
the... May I share my awakening story?
If that's what you want to do, yeah.
Yeah, that's necessity right now.
Okay.
So like I was bicycling 1 month ago.
Right.
And then there was suddenly no one bicycling and nothing happening, but apparently there was a crash after that. And I broke my shoulder. And I'm now seemingly eating painkillers and waiting for an operation.
Okay.
So that's that.
Well, so that's what's having a pain in the shoulder is what's appearing to happen then.
Yes.
That sounds awful.
And yeah, it's not so nice, but that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's as shit as dog shit.
Yeah, it's a pain in the hoop by the sounds of it. Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, but okay.
Yeah.
Hi, Frank.
Hiya.
It's Jacob. Just wanted to say hi. Hope you're doing well.
Good, thanks.
I was just going to tell you, I've been catching myself laughing about this a lot more lately. I had a daughter 6 months ago, and I've had all these fears and worries and anxieties and everything coming up with it. And, just the usual parent type things, I would imagine. And then I'll kind of tell myself like, well, that's just what kind of seems to be happening right now. And the part that makes me laugh is always, but that also includes the thought that that's just what's happening right now. And it's like you just kind of keep going backwards, working your way backwards to whatever is happening. And then the thought that whatever is happening is the same, just appearing as that thought. It sounds confusing, but
no,
the laughter always kind of shuts it down.
That would be what's appearing then to happen, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's doing that. See, in a way, sort of sometimes it can be conceptualized, but it sort of doesn't, it leaves a dry taste almost in the mouth. But it's also that though. So it's everything. It's saying this is what's appearing to happen. It's just whatever is. It's not like a free ticket. It's not like some parts are known. Oh, I get what this part is, but there's a whole lot of stuff that I don't get. That this is everything is sort of utterly unknowable. Completely and totally unknowable.
Beautiful. I love that. Thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
Hi, Frank.
Hiya.
Can you hear me talking?
Yep, I sure can.
You know, one of the things that you said when we talked last time was you said something about there is no you is for the unfortunate few. And I was curious if you would say more about that.
Well, I suppose it's not.
Are we
it's,
all the unfortunate?
I mean, I suppose you have to be careful about any sentences, but it's not like that makes it special or not special. But it would seem that upon hearing this sort of communication, it's not that it can even be heard, but there's something in this sort of uncompromising communication when there really is nothing on offer. We're talking about this mystery, and I don't know that this is a mystery or not a mystery. It's just, again, then it's just words appearing to be spoken. So this, right? And it would seem that it can't be let go of. And I sort of kind of liken it in a way to this idea. And see, the danger is that it makes it sort of special, but it doesn't matter. It's so niche that, like the head in the lion's mouth, in a sense, because if nothing is being offered, nothing at all, nothing. So, and yet still that sort of seeking energy appears to go on, because if it was about knowing or understanding, or then it'd be, okay, look, I guess that nothing's on offer. I'll move on, like we spoke about, and I just go and do hot yoga, because that's just more interesting. At least I can get really uncomfortable for a while and then feel nice and relaxed. And this, in a way, this, if it was like most things, it sort of could be dropped or whatever. Let's just imagine that it could be dropped. But this sort of communication appears to grab hold, and it can't be then let go of, because really you'd run a million miles from it if there was. But it also then, within all that, it's a bit of a story, because it sort of exposes the total not control of anything. So then all there appears to be then is sort of a draw towards these communications. And I said the unfortunate few, probably because, well, it's not like the door is being knocked down, or many people want to talk about this. There's a telephone number on my website, and it's I call it the no helpline, and it's never rang. So that's why I say it's sort of the unfortunate few, and but that's no intention to make. It's not special or anything. It's just, it would seem it's like that.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.
I wanted to ask one other thing, which is that when the quote that I liked about, and please correct if this isn't right, the quote that said, that you said, living conceptually is like licking the window pane of life. Is that the way you said it?
Well, licking life through a window pane, you could
Licking
say
life
that,
through.
or licking a banana through the skin, or licking the wrapper. But it's also that, though. It's also that.
Yeah.
It's just that if this is, it's also as everything. It's as everything, and it's totally and utterly unknowable. So it's just as everything. It's as concepts. It's as hurting the shoulder and being in fucking pain. It's as everything. So it's not like then it's how do you do pain? How do you do trying to take this on as a concept? It's just what appears to happen. So then it's what we want is the mystery to be total bliss, because we saw some book somewhere, or we read some quote that this is unconditional love and it's in liberation, and it would be a glorious pain or a glorious licking the world through concepts or whatever. It's just ideas and images held of what this could be, because it can't be the images held, but it appears then as images held what this could be, should be. It's as everything, and so it's impossible because there's already no one anywhere.
Yes, and as clever and fascinating as that quote is, the reason why it gets said over and over and over again that this is what's happening, is that if it happens that there's the appearance of living conceptually, that's what you're saying right now, is that this is what's happening. There's nothing apart.
Happening. Yeah, that would be what's appearing to happen. And
there's nothing apart
in there. Yeah.
There's nothing separate. I mean,
it's even separation. It's all conceptual. This is it. This talking appearing.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, it also all the words and introductions and sentences can give the impression that something is known, and yet really it goes round the houses and might peer down, it might peer down a rabbit hole and go into something, but normally rapidly comes back out and goes, well, that would be just what's appearing to happen, that it's this. So it's whatever is. And it's totally and utterly unknowable. And this would be awfully heavy then if it was a known thing. It's nothing at all. And so nothing at all isn't even known as a concept or idea. It appears like words like that or what is used. It seems like that. So this is then nothing appearing to happen or whatever. It's this.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, yeah.
The question that's arising here is, what the fuck am I missing?
Absolutely nothing. It's
followed quickly by I don't get it, and
I don't get it.
The common denominator in both of those is I, isn't it? It's
really it's immediately saying I don't get it. That would be what's appearing to happen. And you see, it's just so used to finding and getting and understanding and having and knowing And that's just how everything appears to be, whereas what's appearing to happen can't be had. So saying then, I don't get it, is what's appearing to happen. There isn't anyone in there now. And there never was. And then they won't fall away either. Already, like. So that's it.
I think
Oh, yeah.
Since you ate that scone with the 10 raisins, do you still, is there a lot of story making still going on?
Really, there is just inescapably, unfathomably, immediately what's appearing to happen. This. So then if a story appearing to be told is what's appearing to happen, then that would be this. There isn't anyone that can ever fall away, and then there won't be anyone who'll get this. It's just this. So it includes everything.
Okay.
I'll send you on that recipe now with the 10. I'll only send it to you with the 10 raisins. I won't be able to send that anywhere else now because, you know, just when you asked about it. It's everything. There was never anyone in there. It's just so plainly this. It's just ordinary this. And you won't know that it's this. And you won't not know that it's this. It's this. Whatever is, including wondering about scones and storytelling. That's not this. It's also this. And there's not like parts that are, oh, well, that part isn't this, but this part is this. It's everything.
Yeah. And there's just no one there.
Imagine nobody was required to say there's no one there. And nobody's required to think and look up there and say what? There's just no one in there.
It seems I've been caught.
Well, definitely saying it seems I've been caught is what's appearing to happen. And no one said that either.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Frank, is there any rational reason to the statement, there is nobody in there? Doesn't appear to be.
Well, it's just what appears to be being said, right? So it's unfathomably then, it's the exact same as what was asked there. So saying there's no one in there and then asking about that rationality of that is the same. It's what's appearing to happen. So the mystery then is just this talking now. But this mystery appears as trying to get that. That would be what is. And I suppose you could say that the sentence that there's no one in there, it's sort of a striking. It can strike. It's a sort of a striking sentence. But it wouldn't be said in a way or a purpose to be striking. It's just what appears to be said from time to time, let's just say, as opposed to anything else. So it's neither rational nor not rational. It's just what appears to be said. But in the world of me and me owning and having in the world and whatever and life and all that, it is a sort of a totally and utterly irrational. What do you mean? I mean, it could, if it's heard, it could drive people insane with rage, I suspect. I'll show you that there is someone here or whatever. It's so hard to know, but it is the world seems to be all about becoming and knowing, and so it's not a popular
It may
sentence.
break your arm. It may break your arm.
Yeah. But there, you see, I suppose this awkward mystery is when I even talk about the world and becoming and or that there is no one. So there's no one growing the grass, no one trying to take over the world, and no one breathing and thinking, and no one can fall away then. So it is, in a way, it seems like, and if you park even the sentence about no one and someone and falling away and liberation, if all that was to be just parked, this mystery, this what we're talking about, is just this now. And it's the elephant in the room is as everything. So I was asking that question, as seeking, as every thought, every idea, every breath, everything seen, unseen, it's everything. And it appears to be saying it's everything also. So we could all just sing songs. That would be this. We could scream and roar at each other. That would be this. We could hug. We could have tea and biscuits, like the message. We could have a load of beers. It would also just be simply and totally what is. So this is it. Simply sitting and talking, and questions same as responses. This going downstairs and grabbing a bite to eat and feeding bloody dogs right now. So I'd just like to thank you all, and I better run down and sort the doggies out. All right, have a lovely rest of the day.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.